$1,000 celebration.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you got to thank the Lord sometimes.
The Lord wants to do a little something. The Lord watches the game, too, now.
Hey, he did walk on water. Okay, well then, Shady, let me ask you this, because so many people are upset with Mike McCarthy and how vanilla the offense is. Dak Prescott throwing interceptions, his receivers not getting open, whatever the case may be. But who is at fault in your mind? Is the bigger issue Mike McCarthy, or is the bigger issue Dak Prescott?
It's Dak Prescott. Think about this for a second. The reason why Mike McCarthy wanted to take over the play calling, why was it? He talked about it.
Yeah.
The limit the mistakes, limit the turnovers. He didn't do that with Aaron Rodgers. Did he? Hey, bro, what you want to do today? Right? How many times you want to throw the ball deep?
Ball in your hand.
Think about this for a second. When you bring a guy like Brandon Cooks, everybody would want him as a number 2. Like, oh, for real?
No
Then Gallup, you got him as a number 3. Everybody would love that. CeeDee Lamb as your number 1. That's a perfect wide receiver group. You have everything you need. Tony Pollard's a running back there. Think about this for a second.
Yeah, that's real.
A solid offensive line. So when you ask me who's more at stake right here, it's got to be the quarterback. The weakest link of the offense is who? It's Dak Prescott. So when you have this conservative offense, which I've been saying since week 1, which feels good because now everybody's saying it. It feels good. Like, it's like we can't put a big playbook or a big game plan together because our quarterback doesn't have the type of responsibility to not throw picks. So when that happens, now everything is quick. It's check downs. It's run. No. We need a real offense. If I'm going to pay you $106 million as a quarterback, I need you to throw the ball deep. I need to give you a playbook that's a service size where you can go out there and do whatever you want to do. You can't do that with him. So as much as I want to blame McCarthy, which they shouldn't do, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's Dak Prescott's fault.
I mean, I want to put it on McCarthy because he did.
No.
He did get rid of Kellen Moore.
He did.
That might have been the only thing he was able to do because we know who really runs the teams. Maybe that was the only option. But I have to go with Dak because it doesn't. They had the number 1 offense last year. They were number 1 in red zone last year. They're 28th this year. So it's like, if you let him air it out, which Kellen Moore was doing, that was the problem, right? That's why he was throwing so many picks, because he was doing too much, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then you take that away, so they're not as productive on offense. But the offense doesn't look good. Like, Dak is the one executing it. Like, whether you push him or you don't push him, it's the same results. So I don't know what the solution is. Like, I think Dak is a good quarterback. I think he is an above average quarterback. I think he can win regular season games. I think he can win the division. I think he can put up statistics. We've seen him do all those things. But you are something until you're not. And he's not a big time quarterback. Mike McCarthy has won a Super Bowl with one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the league in Aaron Rodgers. He wasn't talking about running the ball with Aaron Rodgers. And actually, they're worse in rushing this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have to put it on Dak because it just feels like no matter what the situation is, it's the same result.
Yeah. James, I'm torn, big dog. I want to put it on Mike.
No.
I want to put it on Mike and only.
James is gonna let you no matter what. You're gonna slip it in there, like just so you know. No, but go ahead.
I want to put it on Mike, James, but only because the Cowboys looked better when Kellen Moore was at the helm. Same Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
But this same Dak Prescott's thrown for 737 touchdowns in a season. Same Dak Prescott. But the same Dak Prescott's thrown for, I believe, 4,800, 4,900 yards in a season. Same Dak Prescott. Same Dak Prescott had a top 10 red zone offense just a year ago with a less talented offense. So if I'm thinking about what changed, Dak didn't change because to everybody's point at this desk, Dak is the same. However, this year, Dak is substantially worse than he was last year. And last year, he led the league in picks and didn't play all the games. So if I'm thinking about why the Cowboys drop off offensively, I'm putting it on Mike. Mike has to understand he doesn't have Jordy. He doesn't have Devontae. He doesn't have Driver. He doesn't have James. He doesn't have Cobb. He doesn't have J. Mike.
He also doesn't have Aaron.
Correct. So if you have to understand, if you don't have that kind of talent, I need you to scheme up a little bit more like he did on that Kevontae Turpin play when the Cowboys got their lone touchdown.
How long has Dak Prescott been in the league?
8 years.
8 years.
Yes,
How
sir.
long Coach Mike been coaching him? 2?
Oh,
3?
4.
This is
fourth.
the 4th season?
Yes, sir.
Right, so...
First year as the coordinator.
Yeah, so where was the Cowboys before Coach Mike got there?
8-8 on average.
13-3
season. Dak's
You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, as much as you could kind of point some fingers at Coach Mike, you know, and Coach Mike, since Coach Mike's been there, he's been winning. all the fingers point to the quarterback. And after watching that film, I want to point some of the fingers at the receivers, but I'll never blame the receivers, because I was a receiver. But, at the end of the day, all the fingers point towards the quarterback. If you are a big-time quarterback and you're making $100+ million, you throw your receivers open. That's what a $100 million quarterback looks like. I had an opportunity to play with a couple of them. Whether it be Brett Favre, whether it be Aaron Rodgers, whether it be Derek Carr, as much as a bad rep as DC get, Derek Carr gonna throw you open. Derek Carr could put this football in spots that $100 million quarterbacks put the football. So at the end of the day, Dak Prescott, it don't matter to play. Are you that dude at the quarterback spot consistently? We've seen 39 touchdown passes. We've seen flashes of oh yeah, Dak Prescott could possibly one day win an MVP playing at them type levels. We've seen that, but we just have not seen it consistently. And then we get the head-scratching throws and the head scratches of where you even looking at on certain coverages. So for me, it starts and it ends with Dak Prescott. You have control of this offense. Mike did want to run the football a lot when Aaron Rodgers was there and we had weapons, but if that thing would come in Aaron Rodgers' helmet and he'd be like, no, listen here. I know they got this going out there. They can't stop the pass game. We checking, we getting into this stuff. So the main thing is when this season even started, Coach Mike said the ball is in Dak Prescott's hand. We heard that all training camp. Dak Prescott offense, the ball is in Dak Prescott's hands. Well, Dak Prescott has the ability to check in and out of some of these plays. But at the end of the day, he has to make the throws. Tight windows, wide open, whatever it may be, he has to make the throws. Mike can't throw it for him.
Shady, I got a question for you, sir. The reason, let me see if I can convince you. Let me see.
About this one here? Yeah. You can't, but go ahead.
You've seen what great offensive coordinators have done for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Greg Roman, we saw what he did for Alex Smith. Alex Smith was a bust, washed, done. Harbaugh and Roman show up. Alex Smith winning 13 games. Colin Kaepernick, who was he as a quarterback? Out of Nevada, a running quarterback. Oh, Greg Roman show up. Colin Kaepernick is setting records in playoff games, maybe even versus James Jones's pass.
Don't bring it up.
Setting records in playoff games.
I played against their defense too.
You saw what Doug Peterson and Andy Reid did for Nick Foles. You saw what Pete Carroll did for Russell Wilson. We've seen quarterbacks make players we didn't think were all that good great. But we haven't seen it with Mike. We saw it to some degree with Kellen. The 4,900 yards a lot. 37 touchdowns a lot. But we're not seeing it with Mike. So why not? Nick Foles is my dog, but Nick Foles isn't a god.
No, but first of all, a lot of them quarterbacks you just named, they don't turn the ball over. That's for one. And for two is when you look at this Cowboys team, right, and the first you think of is, wow, this defense is amazing. This defense is generational. Okay, then you go to the offense. All them different talented players you got there, when you look at the quarterback position, when you pay a quarterback that type of money, when he is that type of name on that type of team, you can't play this way that he's playing as far as being conservative. Now, you as a coach, how can I protect my players? So everybody you talked about, all them coaches, they protect their players too, though. Andy Reid was one of the best coaches, right? And you talked about when he brought Alex Smith there. Alex Smith played really, really well. But he protected him a lot of things that he did, too, right? Jeremy Mack is one of my best friends, and we talked about when he played with Alex Smith, he was good, but he was limited of different things you could do. Yeah. It's the same thing with Dak Prescott. As much as you want to blame Mike for different things, you can't. You're only as good as your quarterback, and their quarterback is limited. You're asking me for all these different reasons why the offense is not explosive, but your quarterback is above average quarterback. Only could give you what you got.
Joy, is it coincidence?
I only can throw. Only coach what you can throw. Let me stop.
But is it coincidence? Because I don't think it is. But is it coincidence, then, that Dak Prescott is having his worst year through 5 games that he's ever had in his 8-year career, including a rookie year in which Dak Prescott got an MVP vote? Is it coincidence that he's having his worst year when Mike McCarthy is the offensive coordinator, keeping in mind Mike McCarthy, when Green Bay had to give up his play-calling duties, then he got him back, then he got fired? Is it coincidence that Dak is having his worst year?
James, wait, last year was that one the worst year? He led the league in picks.
But 23 touchdowns, 15 picks is better than 5 and 4.
Well, you led the league in picks. He played less games than everybody. I don't get how everybody thinks that's a good year.
I don't understand it either.
I don't play in the less games than every other running back.
I got a lady brain. I do girl math, so but I still also don't understand
it. You got the most picks. 12 games.
I'm just saying this is worse.
You know, it wasn't my question. I apologize, James. I'm being a bad teammate.
Is it coincidence?
No, I think that the Kellen Moore influence is very obvious. You can see it statistically and particularly in the red zone. But my question is, what difference is it going to make? They had the #1 offense last year, and what did it come down to? Why did they lose that game?
Just say the number. You don't gotta say the name.
Why did they lose the game?
put the figures
Why did
up.
they
The two
lose
picks.
the
Prescott.
most
Let's put the number. We'll put the figures up. We know
Why
what
did
you're
they
talking about.
lose the most
Prescott.
important game of the season?
Dak Prescott.
What happened the year before that?
Didn't slide, yeah.
Let's put because I don't want to say the name on this.
Put your
So,
fours up.
so yes.
Fours up.
But my question is whether the offense is the number one offense or whether it's what it is now. It's the same result.
I just played on teams that the teams that are really successful, no matter what kind of offense you're in, no matter what kind of offensive scheme you're in, the quarterback's special. And the quarterback got to make throws when the quarterback got to make throws, period. I don't care what kind of window it is. I tell people all the time, I had over 50-plus touchdowns. If I didn't play with Aaron, I probably had 20. Because there was plenty of them where I'm like, he threw that. And put that thing there. Like, any other quarterback, I'm like, he probably looking me off. He ain't even throwing that. You are $100+ million quarterback. You have to start making those throws. Not every other game.
Yeah.
Every game, especially the games that they need you most.
Quick question, real quick, because you're talking about the coaching. If you have Joe Burrow, you have Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, and they played for Mike McCarthy, he's calling the plays. You think he'll call the plays differently?
Of course.
Why?
Because them dudes are dudes.
Bang! It's him.
He threw
You can't. It's like you gotta. Your playbook gotta be this big with number 4. So he won't throw a pick. Let's just run this. Let's just run the ball. Let's just run the ball. It's the truth.
Shady, I can't stand you.
When
When we return, there was a team that beat the Cowboys this weekend, and they are likely going to be atop the power rankings. But who are the 6 best teams in football? Is it your favorite team? Where's your favorite team ranked? A couple surprise teams have cracked into the new hierarchy of the NFL. Find out next on Speak.
I know my boys in that group. Ain't that right?
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.